All right, guys, so deer season's out, and we're getting started on trapping the feral pigs that we've got on our deer lease. You remember me telling you, several videos that we got a huge problem with feral pigs, and the only way that I know that we can actually take care of them is to trap them. Because, I have seen a handful, I'm gonna say I can count them on one hand, how many times that I've seen pigs when we were in the stand, how many times that I actually encountered these feral pigs while we were hunting. And at that rate, you're never going to get them taken care of. You're never going to get them handled. But the way we're just about to do it, the way I'm going to show you that we're going to do it, it'll work. And we can catch multiple hogs at one time. So stick around. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Outdoors with Lick Branch Market Farm and Family. And in today's video, we are going to be setting the first of many hog traps here on our deer lease. I've got some corn, some attractants, some stuff like that. I haven't really mixed up a batch of what I would call our special recipe bait yet. I just got regular old deer corn, and I got some highly attractive supplemental minerals. And I know that attracts them because I use it on my corn piles during deer season, and it seems like when I put it out, the hogs show up the same night. So we're just going to continue on with that. But I do have some stuff that I'm gonna mix up and make a batch of sour corn, if you will. I see a lot of people using that. Keep in mind now, this is the first time we've done this, and we're going to experiment to figure out what works best for us. Because I have all ideas. It's going to take probably the rest of winter and into the spring to kind of get these guys under control. Because like I said, we've got a huge feral pig problem. I know I mentioned it in several videos, but deer season is out now. We are going to try to go ahead and get started on this while it's still cold and everything's actually looking for something to eat. And the reason I want to use the soured corn it's basically because deer won't eat it. Nothing else will eat it but hogs, so, we don't have any fear of catching any deer. All right, so we got it side by side unloaded. We got everything, I think, that we need. I've got to go pick up a camera. I got to pull a camera off of one of my stands over here in the cutover and take it down there with us. I want to set a camera up on this so we can actually see when we do catch something and know when to come over here and take care of it. I don't want to have to come over here every day just to check the trap, so I've got a camera that I'm gonna move over there and put up on, and it's a cell camera, so it'll notify me as soon as something is messing around the trap. I wanted to show you guys this because this is up on the very top where a shooting house, you see, that's where Betsy hunts out of. She hunts out of that shooting house. And once you look at the road bed, this is normally where we would put corn for the deer to pull them out into the road, but you can see how the hogs have already rooted this road bed up. And it's only getting worse because it seems like now, especially when there's not that much for them to eat out in the woods, as soon as you throw corn on the ground, they're there. They know, it's like they got a sixth sense or something. They know exactly when to show up because, it's actually hard to feed the deer like that. And we've started switching over to putting out feeders and things of that nature, but they figure those guys out too. All they do is they bump them feeders or nudge them, and the corn comes out. I mean, they're gravity feeders, so they're designed as corn comes out to fill the chutes back up. But they've learned now all they got to do is bump them, and corn falls out, and they'll just stand right there under the feeder and feed. I mean, I got some pictures of some, I think it was last night, that came in and did it under one of the gravity feeders. They stayed under that thing an hour. Now, only way corn can come out is if something knocks it out, and they figured that part out, so they're getting smarter. And I mean, we've got some good deer around here, and to not do it is just out of the question. I mean, you know, with the land we got and the deer herd that we got, if we don't do something soon, deer's going to leave. They're just going to move on to something else because they can't compete with that. They're afraid of them as it is, and the hogs, they just rush right in and start feeding, and the deer just ignore it, and they figure out another feeding pattern. But, you know, we got to do something, though, because we can't keep feeding the way we are. We can't feed on the ground, period, now. And the feeder program, it's just, you're throwing a lot of money into something that, I mean, you can utilize it, and we plan on utilizing it. You know, when we shoot the hogs, we plan on utilizing them, but, you know, that's not what we're after. That's the target is not hogs. The target is to grow deer, and right now we got to take care of the hog problem before we can do that. All right, guys, so here is the site for the first, I guess, trap experiment to see, you know, if we can get them to come in or not. This is simply a 4x8 guillotine door style box trap, and it's triggered by a root rod. I put that on yesterday. This trap comes from my son's got a friend that he's got several of these that he uses, and he had a couple that he wasn't using right now, so he told me to bring it down here and try to see what I can do with it, see if I can catch something with it. But I had to work on the door a little bit. It had rusted up, so I got all that working, and I added some safety pins. You can see all they are, like big nails I drilled and put in here to hold the door up. And in any normal situation, what we would do would be to leave these pins in so the hogs can come in and out and it wouldn't trip. Then we just put corn in and go ahead and get them to start utilizing it. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think it's gonna take much to get them to come in here. I really don't, simply because every time that I set out bait in any situation, they're there. And even when us taking corn in, me and Jason have actually went down there to put corn out and walked the corn into the woods, and they have come in on us. And I'm glad I had my pistol with me, because I was able to shoot in the air or shoot in the ground, scare them off. But they wasn't backing down. They was coming in there, and even with it seeing us, they knew we were there. Even us there, they were coming in there. And had it not been for that pistol, I think we would have had to climb a tree or something. But yeah, this is it. This is what we're gonna get started with. And I got several other different trap I guess ideas in my mind how I want to do things. I want to set a corral trap. I got a spot over here on the other side of the beaver pond, probably, I don't know, 500-600 yards from here, that and I'm gonna take you over there. I'm gonna show you. It is unreal, the traffic that comes through there. I get them nightly. I get them every night on this camera, and it's a big area, so I could actually build a pretty good sized trap. I could set up like 16-foot cattle panels in a corral type deal and put a guillotine style door, and I'd have to worry about a different kind of trigger, I know, but that's what I'm thinking for it, because I want to be able to catch numbers. I want to be able to catch 10, 12, 15 at a time. And I think over there I can do it. Here I'm probably going to do 2, 3, 5 at a time, but over there I know I could catch 10 or 12 at a time. So we're going to get this one set first, and we're going to get it, you know, operational, and set the camera up. I'm probably gonna put the camera on that tree right there. I know the sun's in your face, but probably gonna set the camera up so we can monitor, you know, the trap from my cell phone, and be able to see when the hogs come in there actually get caught. That way I know I come by here every day on the way to work, and it'd be nothing for me to stop by and go ahead and take care of what was in it, reset it, and go back to the house. So, and that's the plan. We're gonna set this thing, we're gonna put feed in it, and we're just gonna utilize this guy till it starts warming up again. Right now, we catch hogs, we shoot them, we process them. It's that simple. But once it gets warm, it would be hard to do. So we want to try and start doing it early. So we're going to get started baiting this thing. We got to drive some ground rods in the ground for that root rod to set the trigger. So I'm gonna get those off and go ahead and get started on that. my big old tail in here. But yeah, this is basically all it is. I drove them 2 sticks of rebar about 3 foot into the ground, and this thing here is actually hooked to a trigger down here on this root rod, and it runs up to the door. It's just tied in and on around the door. What happens, we put a big old bait pile right around this stuff, put some more on the floor in here to let them get in and start feeding. But these here, they basically come in here rooting around this, and they knock that stick loose, and that's what trips the door. Now that door is some kind of heavy now, so it's going to fall really, really quick. And the guy told me that he has killed a few small hogs with that door. That door landed on them. But the way it's going to drop and as fast as it's going to drop, I don't see anything being able to get out of here. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and put some corn around here to kind of make it, you know, to where they have to come over here and root that trigger up. And then we'll put some corn outside here to kind of get them interested in actually coming in the trap. All right, guys, so it's pretty much set. I can see the benefit of working with, you know, corn that's wet or actually damp, sticking together, clumping together. But yeah, I think that's gonna be good. I'm gonna put a little bit out here in front of the door to kind of coax them to go in, and then we got to set the camera up over here or over here. I don't know where. Probably set it up over here. I know it'll trip. So I'm gonna do that right quick before I take the safeties off of that trap and then call it good. All right, guys, so that trigger's set. That trap is ready. The door's a little bit lower to keep the deer from going in it, and to kind of keep the bigger hogs. The hogs will still go in it. I mean, they'll go up under it. But now we're kind of limited ourselves to what I would call eating size pigs. 50, 75, 100 pounds. And I don't know, we get a sow and a bunch of piglets in there. You know, that's part of the reason we're doing this. If we can start taking the sows out, the boars don't have anything to breed. And little piglets, they can breed in what, 3 months, 6 months. So yeah, the more the smaller ones we can take out, we start knocking the numbers down really, really quick. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna mix up a little bit more corn and put it out here in front to kind of be an attractant to pull them on in. And then this guy's ready. We gonna go down here in this next site, and I'll show you what I was talking about with that other feeder, how they bumping it, knocking the corn out. And this site right here to be ready. And you know, we may have something tonight, but as soon as we catch a pig in it, I'll put it in this video here and show you, you know, kind of, you know, the process that we use to check them and dispatch the hogs, get them out, get it reset. And like I said, I may change over to a different style door. I don't know. That door's really got me questioning. I mean, I know it'll work, I do, but it's stretched that string to the point where it's about 8 inches lower the door is than I like. But you know what, we'll see. If it works, it works. If it don't, we know to change it. Trial and error, right? All right, that looks good to me. That's the first pig trap I've ever set, and hopefully it'll be productive. I think I'm gonna get some limbs and kind of brush it in a little bit, and make them feel a little bit more secure. I don't know. The guy we got trapped from, he said brush it in, makes them, I guess feel good about going in there. I ain't sure. I got some lapping shears on the back of the truck. We'll go ahead and knock that out. All right, guys, so we're down here where this gravity feeder is, and you can see, You know, there's a little bit of corn on the ground right now, and I think that's more the squirrels jump up there. But you can see the mud on the legs all the way around. And what these hogs have realized, let me see if I can get you out here where you can see this really good, is that if you just bump that feeder just a little bit, you know, you can see it. I'm just barely bumping this thing. You can see the corn coming out of it. Just barely touching it. So that's how they've been feeding out from under this one for a little while. They just figured it out here about a week ago, but it's not going to last long. If I had to guess, it's about right here. And when I filled it up to the top. So yeah, so it's right in here somewhere. So I'm gonna let them go ahead and utilize that little bit that's in it, because I want to move that feeder anyway. But right here where I was talking about putting the corral type trap, and see, I can go all the way through the trees and everything and make a big loop in here and set that trap up to catch a lot of pigs at one time. And what I think I'll do is go like around through the level ground anyway, and come around those trees and set a guillotine style door, you know, out to the edge of it, and, you know, put like 3 16-foot panels together, make a pretty good sized trap, and then put one door on this side and see if we can't get a bunch of them. Like I said, right here I can get multiple pictures of pigs, and I got one monster. That pig weighs 400 pounds. I'm gonna put a shot of him in here and let you take a look at him, how much bigger he is than everybody else. And then he's been feeding in here a long time, so that trap over there, I don't know if we could catch him in it, but I know definitely we could catch one in a corral type right here. So that's probably gonna be the plan for the next one. All right, guys, so the trap's set. We got the camera on it. We know when something gets in it. We got it brushed in, we got feed, we got corn in it. It's sitting on the trigger right now. All we need is a hog to show up and root that pole out of there. He's caught. That's a quick trap. It's a really quick trap, so I don't see anything outrunning it. Hopefully we'll get something tonight, maybe. I hope. There's no reason why we shouldn't, because normally when I throw corn out around here, the next night it's gone. They find it really quick. So we're gonna keep our fingers crossed. The only thing I can see us keeping us from catching something is if they're trap shy, if they just don't want to go in it. But you know, I think the corn out there out front of it is going to be too much for them to bear. They ain't gonna be able to stand that. So all right, guys, so we got the camera set, we got the trap set. I went in now, there's some pigs to show up, but I'm gonna get off here. I got some more work I'm gonna do around here. I got a couple trails I want to clean up. But if you have not subscribed to our channel, reach over here in this right hand corner and click that subscribe button and click the bell notification so you get notified every time we put out a video. As always, guys, we appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.